You're watching NBC 15 News with anchor reporter Justin Williams, True View Weather with Amy Carlson, and sports with Rob Vogel.
There's something to be said for the bravest of souls. Thousands of people plunged into the waters at Madison's Olin Turville Park today to raise money for the Special Olympics. Now, photojournalist Dave Walker is all washed up today as he guides us on this polar experience.
Today is the 6th annual Polar Plunge. The 1,500 plungers that we expect today will be jumping. Some are in teams.
Yeah, quick trip.
Clan of the Cave Bean.
Our varsity girls basketball team is coming out.
We have people who are just real excited to be here.
Yeah! It's going to be a good time. We're pretty excited.
Kind of wanted to do it just so I could say I could do it, but I have an uncle with muscular dystrophy, and you know, the thing came in the mail, and we were like, yeah, that's crazy, let's do it.
And then we have a few who get to the ice and are a little nervous.
Oh my God, why the heck am I doing this again?
I am scared to death right now. We're kind of having second thoughts, but we're going to do it anyway.
After they jump in the frozen lake, they get to warm up in a hot tub or a heated changing tent.
Oh, that bird! Oh, yeah!
We did it, so it's okay. It's really cold.
I saw God.
We're expecting to raise $200,000 today for our 1,200 local Special Olympics athletes.
It's so nice to have all these supporters here to help out with the Special Olympics. It's not like you're just raising money for kicks. It's, you know, for a good cause.
Madison is definitely very supportive of Special Olympics, and we're happy for that.
Wow. Today's event was one of 9 being held statewide. I don't know if anybody had as much fun as the folks here in Madison. Participants collected per plunge pledges. The money raised will help send Special Olympians to 5 statewide events and 1 to a world event.
I don't think there's been a 4 fatality accident in maybe a quarter century.
Terror on the tracks just outside of Columbus Sunday morning as a train knifes through a minivan, killing all 4 passengers in the automobile.
What this brings to the families, the lives, just makes me shudder.
According to Dodge County Sheriff's Captain Glenn Wellis, the minivan carrying 2 women and 2 men had been traveling on a portion of State Highway 1660, which is closed for construction.
We know that they had turned around in someone's driveway and were in the process of recrossing the railroad track when the vehicle was struck by the oncoming train. The 39-car Canadian Pacific Railway freight train was bound for St. Paul, Minnesota, delivering consumer goods from Chicago. It came to an unexpected halt at the Baden Street crossing in the town of Elba. 2 of its crew members escaped injury but have been referred to a counselor.
They never forget this stuff because it lingers in their mind forever. Could they have done something they couldn't? It was just a case of a lax motorist judgment. The
Baden Street crossing does not have active warning devices such as lights or gates, but Wisconsin Railroad Commissioner Rodney Croonan says the stop signs should have been enough.
We've gone through this entire area, well, over the past 7 or 8 years to make sure every crossing had some form of protection.
Croonan adds his hope this tragedy highlights the importance of safe railroad crossings.
This railroad crossing issue is a very serious issue. In this case, we have 4 people put into caskets.
Serving South Central Wisconsin, NBC 15 News. Coverage you can count on.
The city of Madison is waiting to collect on more than $80,000 in fines from Mifflin Street partiers. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Becky Hillier. More than a week ago, 20,000 people packed the 2 blocks for the annual bash. Now NBC 15's Natalie Swaby joins us to explain how a handful of students might end up paying the price.
Well, Becky, Madison police have made many return trips to the neighborhood to hand deliver fines they could not get to on the night of the party. Students are fighting the fines, the most recent batch of which were given out last night.
Okay, this is the disorderly conduct for 412. This one's the noise violation, 164.
Looking over lots of pink slips, it's obvious their house party is going to cost them.
A little less than $9,000.
They gave us a distributing without a license, and then they gave us another noise violation, and then selling. We had 2 minors in our backyards.
We canvassed the neighborhood looking for other fined party throwers and found this house is facing more than $10,000 in fines. Just a few doors down, officers handed over tickets for more than $14,600. And here on the corner, they owe more than $19,000. One renter with a $10,000 fine who doesn't want to show his face is in shock.
The most I can afford is maybe $100 a month on a payment plan, but for $10,000, I'll be like mid-30s.
Flyers like this one have neighbors coming together to try to fight the fines, but Madison police say people up and down Mifflin Street had fair warning.
There's some of that woe is me from the students. The issue is, first of all, they were warned well in advance. Second of all, there can't be a lot of sympathy for these students when they charge $5 a cup, have 300 people in their house, and then charge $3 for shots.
According to the Madison Police Department, officers went door to door prior to this street party, warning about costly fines. Now renters like these University of Wisconsin juniors are trying to figure out how they'll pay them.
Trying to more focus on when our court date comes up.
Yeah, I told my dad. He told me to get another job.
Many residents I spoke to are planning to fight the fines in court, as well as attend a neighborhood meeting on Wednesday night with Alderman Mike Verveer. And Becky, we haven't heard the last about these fines. Madison police say they're going to issue grand total for all citations later this week.
Take a big, deep breath for that one.
That's right.
Thanks very much, Natalie.
This storm did more than destroy homes. It took a life. 54-year-old Harold Orlovsky sought shelter from the tornado in his basement of his home. That home was in the Fallen Oaks subdivision of the town of Pleasant Springs. Orlovsky died when the fireplace chimney collapsed onto his house and then into the basement. The Dane County coroner is performing an autopsy on Orlovsky's body today to confirm his death is a direct result of the storm. A spokesman representing Stoughton Hospital said this afternoon that 23 people were treated for injuries from the tornado. 20 were treated and released. 2 are hospitalized in stable condition, and 1 person was airlifted to UW Hospital. That person is listed in critical condition. Residents in the area were literally in the dark for much of the devastating damage that blew through the area. NBC 15's Justin Williams brings our continuing coverage as he captures the shock at daybreak.
The morning after.
This is my first look at what's happened in daylight, and it's just devastating.
As one Pleasant Springs resident receives consolation from a Dane County Sheriff's deputy, Stoughton Mayor Helen Johnson surveys the scene.
Oh, just disaster. It's just a disaster zone. You look at a car that's just thrown up on it. It's unbelievable. The winds out here must have been terrible. How frightening.
Riley Cowan lives less than 1 mile away.
I'm thinking that we got it pretty good compared to these guys. Because all we got is a couple of trees down and branches broken. But these guys' whole houses are wrecked.
The area has experienced severe storms in the past. The Barneveld tornado of a number of years ago that completely destroyed the village of Barneveld was obviously a very powerful storm. But this is as powerful a storm as I've seen.
To gain an appreciation of the discriminatory nature of these strong winds, you can take a look here at this golf ball sitting up in what many golfers would call a good lie. But then just 1.5 yards to 2 yards away, you can see a battery and debris, pieces of brick from the home thrust in with such force to the yard that they're able to rip up the turf here.
But if you look at these homes that new or old, families have lost their hopes and dreams, and so we hope that they can rebuild their lives.
Brick by brick. Justin Williams, NBC 15 News.
We love it. I think it's one of our favorite sports.
And this weekend, cross-country skiers get to hit the trails in a favorite spot.
I love coming downtown anyway, so this is a really different experience.
This is the course for the Capitol Square Sprints.
We have Olympians and athletes who is going to be in a world championship for U.S. ski team, and we have U.S. ski disabled team who participate in the Paralympics. So that's a really big deal.
Another big deal, bringing truckloads of snow to spread a course surrounding downtown.
I wish I would have seen them trucking it in last night.
Crews dumped more than 80 loads overnight in frigid temperatures.
It makes it a lot harder, but one thing for sure, we won't lose any from melting.
In fact, skiers say it's just right.
Everybody seems to be moving pretty quick, and it's a real fast course because just the cold weather.
I'm hot right now. I just went around 3 times, so I'm actually sweating.
The snow is really good condition for skiing the way they've groomed it, and it's a real blast.
Especially in the shadow of this.
It's just really a cool thing to be able to ski around the Capitol.
It's kind of surreal, you know. My first thought was, do I cross on a red or not?
In Madison,
I'm hoping that it turns into an annual event.
Dana Bruick, NBC 15 News.